Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's first video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. For today's first video, that takes us to around the 22nd of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Ranging around a couple of weeks. That takes us into the final week of the month. So I'll get back for you very shortly. Just say that later on today we will have another look at the late summer bank holiday weekend. It's within the GFS time frame now. Did the first update for that on Saturday. So update number 2 will be with you later on today. Of course, this video will cover that time frame as well, but we're looking at it in depth in today's second video update coming up later on this afternoon into this evening. Right then, so let's go on. We're going to start off by having a look at the latest observations from xcweather.co.uk. It has cooled down quite a lot, so maximum temperatures 19 degrees, flashing away at various locations. For example, Norwich is at 19 degrees, as is Weybourne on the Norfolk coast there. And also going a bit further inland, we've got Pershore at 19 degrees too. However, one or two places are stuck down at just 11 degrees. Fylingdales is at just 11 degrees, and also Leek is at 11 degrees as well. Probably showers coming and going and pegging temperature back there as well. So it's a lot cooler, fresher out there this afternoon. Those temperatures will rise a little bit more from that during the next hour or two. I'd anticipate we'll get to around 21 possibly this afternoon, somewhere in central London. That's around 70 Fahrenheit. However, it is a lot cooler and fresher than it has been over recent days. Even when we have those very strong winds on Friday and Saturday, it's still generally quite warm down in the southeast, but we're in a rather cooler air mass now. Going further north, we can see, for example, Aviemore is at just 13 degrees. Drumalbin is at 13 degrees, as well as is Albemarle. 13 degrees as well. So it's a pretty cool afternoon out there, and it's going to be staying cool for the next few days, actually. So the CET is on its way down. This is the latest from Hadley up to yesterday, provisional to the 11th, standing at 18.2. So still very warm for August, but this is beginning to lower, and this trend, this cooling trend, is going to continue actually for the next few days, I think. So this is going to drop quite a bit, I would anticipate, over the next week to 10 days. I would think by the time we get through to around day 10, we will probably be under 17 degrees, with that going down to sort of average type August temperatures. Of course, it may warm up again in the final week of the month if you start to pull up some warmer weather, but we're certainly not going to have an 18 Celsius CET month. These are 500 millibar high anomaly flowcharts from the Penn State University for next week, 10 days. We've got the ECMWF here on the top, and the GFS, which we'll have in a moment, is on the bottom. So 500 millibars, 80,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere. High pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates to above average heights, which is high pressure. Blue to below average heights, which is low pressure. This takes us to the 7 to 10 day time frame, so it takes us to around 22nd of August. We can see that we are still generally unsettled to 22nd of August with the ECM. We've got below average heights, low pressure coming in from the Atlantic still. Rather like that. One thing we can see is that the jet stream is beginning to ease. So you remember when we looked at these charts, I think it was Saturday, it had quite tight black lines just here. That is indicating the position of the jet stream. See how those lines are opening out now. So the jet stream is beginning to weaken, I think, as we get towards this day 8, 9, 10 period. Possibly there, just the very beginnings of a little bump of high pressure. Then goes down to the GFS. That looks even more unsettled. So again, deep area below average height, sitting just over to west of the UK, and still quite a strong jet stream coming through the Atlantic as well. So both the models are indicating that up to day 10, certainly the next 10 days, we're going to have a lot of unsettled weather. We may start to see a trend towards warmer, drier conditions beyond that, taking us into the final week of the month. But up to day 10, 22nd of August, it certainly looks quite unsettled. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. I'm at Bristol today, so the red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Bristol. We're cool. Excuse me, we're cool now. We've got a temperature below average, and we're going to keep it cool, really, for the next couple of days. Beyond that, we see the temperature lifting up a little bit later in the week, but it's only associated with low pressure. It's just bringing in warm sectors with areas of low pressure in the second half of the week. So, although the upper air temperature will lift up a little bit later in the week, I don't think we'll particularly notice it down on the surface. And then beyond that, actually, as we get through to the weekend and next week, going quite cool again. Right at the very end, going through this final week of August, again, we see this trend that is potentially lifting the temperature up. So we have got several members of the GFS ensembles that are warming up through this final week of August. It appears that the GFS ensembles are shifting more and more towards the chance of a warmer last week to the month. Precipitation-wise, lots of precipitation coming up, plenty of rainfall over the next week to 10 days, regular rainfall spikes coming through. And then again at the end, into the final week of August, we possibly just see a bit of a drying trend. Not completely dry, you wouldn't expect it to be that far out. Some of those ensemble members will still be keeping it unsettled, but I think compared to the days before, we do see a little bit of a drying trend and a little bit of a warming trend for that last week of August. So just a few hints there that the final week of the month could start to turn drier and warmer. Temperature anomalies from the 12th to 20th of August below average. Not a big deviation, but certainly it's on the cooler than average side. We're not alone. Ireland is as well, as is much of France and the Low Country. So a relatively cool week coming up. Precipitation anomalies from the 12th to 20th of August. Overall, a little bit wetter than average for England and Wales, but surprisingly closer to average for northern parts of the country, and some parts of northern England actually looking a little bit drier than average. Not sure about that. I think it's still going to be a very unsettled week coming up. I'm not sure how it's coming up with those slightly drier than average anomalies there across parts of northern England, but we shall see. Could be down to the location of showers that the model is forecasting. Right, so this is how the GFS is looking for Thursday. So on Thursday we're in a day of sunshine and showers, really. Wednesday going to be quite a wet day, especially so for England and Wales. Quite a cold, wet day actually on Wednesday potentially. Then Thursday we go into sunshine and showers. On Friday and into weekend, it's a case of watching this area of low pressure deepening out to the west of Scotland. That's going to become a very important feature as we get through to the weekend. So this is Saturday. A band of heavy rain moving across the country during Friday to Saturday, and following on behind we've got sunshine and showers being blown in on those strong westerly winds. Does look really quite autumnal, that, as we get through to the weekend. Cool and showery with low pressure well and truly in control. Into early next week, the low pressure begins to shift away to the north a little bit. Heights are starting to try and rise down to the south. Still looking rather flat, so the changes are not going to be dramatic if this is right. We just see it gradually begin to dry out a little bit down across the south. It's still unsettled up in the north. Relatively cool with these westerly winds still blowing in from off the Atlantic. That's how things look at day 10. Just starting to raise heights a little bit down across France and into parts of England and Wales. Then this trend increases as we go through into the extended range. You see how this ridge gradually gets stronger and stronger as we move into the final week of the month. This is actually Bank Holiday Monday, Monday the 26th of August. And for England and Wales, it looks pretty decent. Quite a nice ridge there, bringing dry and potentially quite warm conditions, I would have thought. Further north, it is a bit more unsettled, although, of course, it's not a Bank Holiday Monday across Scotland, but it is more unsettled up in the north. The south looking generally quite dry and warm. Most of the upper air temperatures for Bank Holiday Monday. So it is pleasantly warm across England and Wales. That could get you up to mid-20s Celsius, I would have thought, there for Bank Holiday Monday. But further north, it does look quite a bit cooler. Into more extended range, or further into extended range, I should say, taking us as far as we can go with this particular GFS run to Wednesday, 28th of August. We hang on to that quite warm weather down across England and Wales, always a little bit cooler for Scotland. And high pressure generally is to our south and east. Low pressure is generally out to the northwest. So it certainly hints at something drier and warmer setting up for the final week of August, potentially ending August on quite a dry and warm note. This is how the GM is looking. So again, showery for Thursday. Sunshine and showers really sums it up. And then Friday into the weekend, here comes that autumnal looking area of low pressure, being wet and windy weather through early Saturday probably, and then into sunshine and showers for later Saturday and into Sunday. Early next week stays unsettled, but GM's actually bringing up another little area of low pressure around Tuesday, pushing that up from the southwest. Tuesday next week, I should say, that's Tuesday 20th of August, so that could bring a further bout of rain across parts of the country. Quite a deep low, that one as well, maybe some strong winds associated with that, but it's a very long way out, and the GM is probably overdoing that. And then as we get through to day 10, that's how we're looking. So again, trying to raise the heights a little bit to our south. However, I think the GM looks more unsettled than the GFS at this time frame. We are trying to get a bit of a ridge going across France, but we've got this low out here, and I think that low is only going in one direction, which is into Ireland and the UK, and will bring us another bout of unsettled weather. So I don't think the GM is going as far as the GFS in trying to build up this ridge by day 10. And then we've got the ECMWF again looking showery for Thursday. Sunshine and showers really summing it up. And then Friday into the weekend, wet and windy. Heavy rain moving across the country Friday to Saturday. And then we're into sunshine and showers through the weekend. Could be quite a windy weekend as well. Could be gales around some southern and western coasts once again. Early next week. So heights begin to rise out to west and southwest a little bit as we get through towards day 10. There we are. We've got some heights beginning to try and rise close to the UK. So again, just a few hints that we might be trying to settle things down by the time we get through to day 10. Although again, it doesn't, rather a flimsy ridge. We've got this low in the Atlantic, so it's a bit inconclusive as to how long this ridge would last. It does look quite weak, really, and it could be that the lows start to push that ridge out of the way, and it quite quickly flattens off. So it's rather inconclusive as we get through to day 10 and beyond. Up to then, looking quite unsettled. Really going to be a fair amount of rain around over the next few days. So this is to tameteo.com. It's a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run. So today we've got heavy showers down in the southeast. There could be some thunderstorms kicking off in the southeast through the course of this afternoon. Otherwise, have a drier slot up through the Midlands, northern, eastern England, and then more showers packing into Northern Ireland and western parts of Scotland. Into tomorrow, again, really is a case of sunshine and showers. Fewer showers, though, tomorrow, so I think Tuesday is actually one of the better days of the week. And then into Wednesday, we bring a massive rain in off the Atlantic, particularly affecting England and Wales. We've got two areas of rain, really. One across western parts of Scotland, so that's going to bring wet weather there, and particularly across England and Wales through the course of Wednesday. Looks a notably cool and wet day. Temperatures may be pegged back over that persistent rain just into the low to mid-teens. So for the middle of August, that could be a really, really cool and wet day across England and Wales. Drier for the far north England into southern Scotland, then more rain into central northern western parts of Scotland. All of that clears away as we get through into Thursday, and then we're into sunshine and showers really for Thursday. And then on Friday, here comes that wet and windy weather piling in from off the Atlantic. The timings with this wet and windy weather at the end of the week are varying from model run to model run. The ECM today is bringing this in through the course of Friday itself. Other models suggest more Friday night into Saturday, but either way, it looks like we get a bout of wet and windy weather at the end of the week. And then potentially another push of heavy rain through Saturday, again affecting England and Wales. That does look like potentially a washout on Saturday across England and Wales too. Further north, it's sunshine and shower. Remember, this is all down to timings of these weather systems moving in from the Atlantic, so you can expect a bit of chopping and changing on this over the next day or two, but certainly very, very unsettled over at the end of the week and over the weekend. We're up to Sunday now, and again we're looking at sunshine and shower, particularly so for western and northern parts of the country. fewer showers in the east, but they get more widespread through the course of Sunday anyway. And then into early next week, again, more showers coming up, some of them heavy and thundering, moving closer towards day 10. Now, gradually the showers are beginning to ease off to some degree. And actually gone past day 10, so let's just rattle through to 240-hour chart, which is that one. And by then we're looking mainly dry, although already the next areas of rain are out to the west of Ireland. That's because we've got this area of low pressure in the middle of the Atlantic. Of course, there's a weather front coming in there. So, as I say, how long that ridge lasts is uncertain. Will this rain just push the ridge away? We'll have to wait and see. These are the options we've got on the table within the ECM ensembles today at day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. This gets us to the 22nd of August, of course. So we have 13 members of the ECM ensembles with below average heights to our east and above average heights to west. That's beginning to dry things out a little bit. Probably still quite showery though, and pretty cool, bringing in the air from the northwest. We have 12 members of the ECM ensembles with above average heights to the south. Below average heights to the southwest, so that's trying to build some ridging up from the south, but probably still quite showery. 12 with below average heights over the country and to the east. Northern blocking is up here. That looks one of the more unsettled options. 11 with some above average heights to the north, below average heights in the middle of the Atlantic. A weak ridge that's extending down through the UK. This includes the operational run. That's the run we're just looking at, of course. So again, very inconclusive about how long this ridge that's building down through the UK, which is just a weak ridge, how long that would last. This low in the Atlantic will probably, I would have thought, break that ridge down fairly quickly. And then there's 3 building up above average heights to the east and below average heights out to the west. That's probably the warmest option. Probably not settled, could be thundery even, but it will be bringing up warm air from the south. So there are various options on the table at day 10. The ECM ensembles look like they're trying to get high pressure more involved, but how much influence that high pressure has at day 10 remains to be seen. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This is to the 27th of August. Have 21 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure sitting to the north, particularly sent over Scandinavia. So they're bringing in easterly winds. They could be very warm, actually, for the sort of final days of the month. Then there's 15 just here, but are much more unsettled. Below average heights over the UK, so low pressure just continues to keep it very unsettled with those ones. And then another 15 with above average heights, high pressure sitting over the UK and extending out into the Atlantic. Jet stream is probably being pushed there. So that's mainly dry and quite warm with those ones too. So if we put the 21 together that we've got just here, the 21 ensemble members there, with the 15 there, it does look as though by the time we get through to 2 weeks out, which is taking us to the final stages of August, it does look as though the ECM ensembles are probably trending towards a more anticyclonic, drier and warmer scenario for the end of month. Similar, I would have thought, to what the GFS ensembles are doing. Finally, just have a look at CFSV2. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 12th to the 18th of August. The coming week looks unsettled. Below average heights through the country. Low pressure going to be dominating, bringing showers or longer spells of rain. Northern blocking continues up here. So it's going to be quite a cool and unsettled week coming up. Week 2 is the 19th to 25th of August. That also looking unsettled. Below average heights over to west of us. Trying to raise the heights to the south. So the Med is turning dry, hot and warm. So we are trying to raise some high pressure to the south, but generally still quite unsettled and still with extensive northern blocking centred around Greenland. Week 3 looks like that. It's the 26th of August to the 1st of September. High pressure continues to be sitting across the northern latitudes. Low pressure is out to the west of the country, but it's quite a weak area of low pressure. High pressure is down here. Very messy scenario, probably trending towards something rather drier, but you wouldn't necessarily say that's a settled scenario at all. So rather inconclusive there as to whether that is really settling things down truly, or whether it's just turning a little bit drier and warmer. And then we go through to week 4, which is the 2nd to the 8th of August. Below average heights in over Scandinavia then, so a trough is developing over northern Scandinavia, high pressure through central parts of Europe. That would definitely be trying to bring up much warmer air from the south. The only caveat with that is that we still have this ongoing signal for high pressure to be close to Greenland. So, I mean, again, very inconclusive. You've got high pressure around Greenland, you've got a trough setting up through Scandinavia, so that would be trying to bring down northerly winds. But then we've also got this ridge sort of over Germany and down towards the Alps. They will be trying to bring up hot southerly winds. So that is very inconclusive there as to where we're going, you know, as we move towards and into September. More runs needed, that's really all you can say about that. But it's not definitively settling down for early September at the moment. Finally, the temperature anomalies from CFSV2 for the coming week, up to the 18th of August, cooler than average. Going to be really quite a chilly week coming up, as we've already established, as has started today. Week 2 temperature anomalies from the 19th, 25th of August, also on the cooler than average side. This is going to lower the centering temperature massively from where we're starting off at right now. Week 3 is the 26th of August to the 1st of September, going closer to average then. And then week 4, just hinting at going a bit warmer than average as we get through into week 4. It's the first week of August, September I should say, the 2nd to the 8th of September. Just a little bit warmer than average, particularly so through central parts of Europe. But again, how long that lasts, how extensive that is, that warmer spell, remains to be seen. Precipitation anomalies 12th to 18th of August, overall a bit on the wet and average side in week ahead, and also hinting at being rather unsettled, rather wet, particularly for the north, into week 2 as well. Week 3 goes closer to average, 26th of August to the 1st of September. And then week 4 is the 2nd to the 8th of September. And again, no sign of anything definitively drier here. The 2nd to the 8th of September, notice it's actually a bit wetter than average down towards Spain and into some parts of Central Europe. So, I mean, considering we've probably got a ridge sitting over Germany, that's a bit surprising. And again, there's just no sign of anything definitively settled coming up for the end of August and early September. So this is inconclusive where this is going. We can see that within the ensemble output, definitely wants to turn things warmer and drier through the last week of August, and that will probably last into early September too. But when you drill down into the detail of how that's happening, it does look quite inconclusive at the moment, I have to say. So it may be nothing more than a few days of warmer, drier weather, and then we go back into unsettled conditions. Or, of course, the alternative is that we could establish a big ridge and go into a more prolonged spell of drier, warmer weather, typical of what tends to happen in early September. But at the moment, it's inconclusive and quite uncertain, I think, what's happening sort of late August into early September. But before that, it's going to be unsettled and cool for certainly the next week, probably the next 10 days, and then probably trending to something drier for a while anyway, as we get through into the last week of the month. That will be the focus of the videos, I would have thought, in the next few days, trying to ascertain just how much warmer, drier weather is on the way through the final week of August. Of course, that's important because it does encompass Bank Holiday weekend. We'll be back with the second update for the late summer Bank Holiday weekend later on today. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.